One thing that I'm really enjoying, or one thing that we just started literally the other day, is what we call Seek Season. And Seek Season is 21 days where we seek God for ways that he can show up in our lives by sacrificing something. So ultimately, yes, Lent. It's the principles of Lent. Today was interesting for me because I went to seek God in a way that I hadn't in a long time. And I know it's going to sound bad. It's honestly a little embarrassing, but I went into my nightstand and I grabbed my Bible. And as I grabbed it, I heard the back of the Bible peel off the bottom of the drawer as if it hadn't been moved in a while. And embarrassingly and truthfully, it hadn't been moved in a while. Listen, I've been using my Bible app, so don't think I haven't been in the Word. I haven't opened the actual book. For some reason, opening the physical book felt like I wasn't mature enough to do that. We'll get to that later. And I already felt bad at the sound of the Bible coming off of the bottom of the drawer. But I realized that I had a highlighter in the book. I said a prayer before I opened my Bible and I said, God, I just pray that you help me navigate this. Help me understand the language in a way that I'll be able to digest it and I won't necessarily have questions, that it'll be easy to understand, easy to hear you. It'll flow. Y'all, I kid you not. Again, reminder, what I'm doing with my church is called Seek Season. We're seeking him. Y'all, I opened this Bible right here. And the last thing that I had highlighted, where my highlighter was, I cannot make this up, was Jeremiah 29:13. This thing says, you will seek me and find me. You will seek me and find me when you seek me with all your heart. I broke down in tears because how on day one of Seek Season am I now placed at the exact place, one, not only I just prayed about, but two, where my spiritual leader is taking us over the next 21 days. So in that moment, I broke down crying because it's like nothing about that was coincidence. The first thing I took from it was, clearly my Seek Season has been in preparation since the last time I was in my Bible. That the last thing I highlighted, the last thing I prayed over, the last thing I read was about seeking him. Clearly I had been in pursuit for Jesus to come in my life more. Clearly I had been in pursuit for God to see me, to be in his presence, to just be, right? That for today to be day one of Seek Season, that's not a coincidence. The second thing, my light bulb moment was, I've questioned for so long and I hesitated a lot on joining a church because of what I know about church. And I think there are a lot of people out there like this. We grew up in church. We've seen the business side. We've seen the joy of just going. And so to now make a commitment on your own as an adult to serve, to show up, to give your time, your talent to one place, I knew in that moment that I am being spiritually led by the right person. Because the way that my pastor thinks ahead and plans sermons and subjects and topics and taking us to these different places spiritually, there's no way that I did that months ago, not for me to end up in that same place today. And the other thing too is just to debunk the myth about going at fasting alone. What I've learned over the last few weeks and what I keep hearing in my head is community, community, community. If it hadn't been for my best friend saying, I'm going to get up early and I'm going to spend more time with God, if she hadn't told me that, I'd probably be sleeping in still. Nothing, I don't feel like, would have triggered me to say, let me get up and spend more time with God too. Or I will continue going about my day how I was. I'll find time once I get going. Let me send a few emails first. Let me do the community got me to see where I left off and how it's supposed to help me in this season, in this Seek Season. And I think that's incredible. So if you're out there and you're seeing this, my bottom line is, one, if you're ever thinking about fasting or observing Lent or whatever, whether it's now, next year, or fasting sometime later this year, I encourage you to talk to your friends. I encourage you to talk to your family. I encourage you to talk to anybody close to you about what you're going through, because I wish I had that earlier on. I wish I knew it was okay to have these conversations, not to be braggadocious or anything like that, but to have somebody to lean on. That's powerful. Woo! My God.